some of the things that are already on the bond commission queue. Your thoughts about where do you think that's going to play out over time? Is that something you think can be finished in a 2020, 2021 type time frame, or is it longer than that?
Well, again, I think the structure has real challenges. Some of those are, many of those are because we underinvested, because the facility was underinvested in over a long period of time. If you have a big, gigantic building, and you know it's getting older, and it's one of the oldest such facilities in the country, and you're not setting aside money to renovate it or replace it, shame on you. And that's the environment that we've existed in. I do think that a $250 million alternative is better than a $1 billion alternative. And math's not my strength, but I think that that's a reality. And I have said this before, I can't imagine a capital city, or for that matter the state of Connecticut, not having a facility available like that one. So I think that if the corporate community and the business community, particularly in the greater Hartford area, is in agreement with that, then they're going to have to let that be known, because otherwise that investment may not be made. I'm going to stop here and just say this, that bonded indebtedness is an investment. You need a new roof on your house. Some of you go to Webster Bank and borrow, $6 to $12 to $20,000 to put a new roof on it. You need window replacement. You access monies that you may have set aside over a period of time for that purpose. You want your church needs a new building. Everybody ties and puts some more money into getting that job done, and they go to Webster Bank and borrow the rest. I mean, that's how these things work. And I think what I can point out to you is that we underinvested in housing, we underinvested in transportation, we underinvested in modernizing some of our oldest facilities. I've got a state office building. If you drive by it, I think there's something like hundreds of individual air conditioning units out the window in a building that no one's effectively touched in 40, 50 years. I mean, the building's 60 years old. And yet what we've done, I think, remarkably, is to buy 3 new office buildings and invest in those, have those occupied in Hartford as opposed to outside of Hartford, do away with some long-term leases that were exorbitant and quite frankly signed off under circumstances which, having looked at them, I don't understand, and brought those folks back into Hartford. There are better ways to do it. Bonded indebtedness should be looked at as a string of investments that you make in your future, and you should not make more than you can afford, and you should not make less than you can afford. That's how I would look at it.
And Jim, I would be remiss if Jim didn't